In April 2017, thousands of young people arrived on a remote island in the Bahamas expecting a luxury music festival. What they found instead would become one of the most infamous frauds in modern history. Instead of luxury villas and gourmet dining, attendees discovered disaster relief tents, soaked mattresses, and now infamous styrofoam containers with slices of bread and cheese. The paradise they'd been promised simply did not exist. Social media erupted. What was supposed to be the most exclusive event of the year became an instant, global spectacle of failure. But behind the chaos stood one man and a web of deliberate deception. William McFarland was born in 1991 in New York City and raised in a comfortable New Jersey suburb. By all accounts, he was bright, charismatic, and possessed an almost preternatural confidence in his own abilities. McFarland briefly attended Bucknell University in Pennsylvania, but dropped out to pursue entrepreneurship. He was drawn to the startup world, where bold claims and big visions were currency. His first venture was Magnesis, a credit card company marketed to young Manhattan elites. It promised exclusive access to events, restaurants, and a lifestyle most could only dream of. The pitch was intoxicating, but even Magnesis showed early warning signs. Members reportedly complained of unfulfilled promises, event tickets that never materialize, perks that evaporated. McFarland, it seemed, was better at selling dreams than delivering them. Then came the partnership that would change everything. McFarland teamed up with rapper Ja Rule to create something unprecedented, a luxury music festival on a private island in the Bahamas. They called it Fyre Festival. McFarland understood something fundamental about his generation: the power of aspiration. He knew that if you could make something look exclusive enough, people would pay almost anything to be part of it. The marketing campaign for Fyre Festival was a masterclass in manufactured desire. McFarland enlisted some of the world's most famous social media influencers to post a coordinated promotional blitz, a single orange tile that flooded Instagram. A promotional video featured supermodels on yachts, jet skis cutting through crystal waters, and promises of luxury accommodations. The video was reportedly viewed millions of times. Tickets ranged from roughly $200 to over $100,000 for VIP packages. But behind the glossy marketing, the reality was staggering. According to investigators, McFarland knew months in advance that the festival could not be delivered as promised. Internal documents allegedly showed staff raising alarm after alarm. The original venue was reportedly a private island once linked to Pablo Escobar. When the island's actual owners pulled out, McFarland allegedly pivoted to a gravel lot on Great Exuma, while continuing to advertise a private island experience. Event producers, contractors, and logistics teams reportedly warned McFarland that the infrastructure was nowhere near ready. Some consultants allegedly recommended canceling the event entirely. McFarland reportedly pushed forward anyway. Investigators would later allege that McFarland used fraudulent financial documents to secure investments. He reportedly presented fake revenue projections and fabricated business records to convince investors to pour millions into the venture. According to federal prosecutors, approximately $26 million was raised from investors through these allegedly fraudulent representations. The money flowed in, but remarkably little went toward actually building the festival. When attendees finally arrived, the scale of the deception was laid bare. No musical acts, no luxury villas, no gourmet food, just chaos, confusion, and thousands of stranded festival goers documenting every moment on social media. The FBI began investigating Billy McFarland within weeks of the festival's collapse. Federal agents started by following the money, tracing every dollar from investor accounts through McFarland's companies and into his personal spending. Investigators reportedly discovered that McFarland had presented a fabricated brokerage statement to investors, inflating his company's value by millions. The document was allegedly created to secure additional funding as the festival spiraled toward disaster. Digital forensics played a crucial role. Investigators analyzed emails, text messages, and internal Slack communications that allegedly showed McFarland was aware the event would fail, yet continued to sell tickets and solicit investments. Former employees and contractors became key witnesses. Many described a culture of delusion at the top, McFarland allegedly insisting everything would work out, even as deadlines passed and infrastructure remained non-existent. Investigators also uncovered that even after the festival collapsed, McFarland allegedly continued his fraudulent schemes. He reportedly launched a new ticket-selling venture called NYC VIP Access, using a fake name to defraud additional victims. Through this second scheme, McFarland allegedly defrauded customers of approximately $150,000 by selling bogus tickets to exclusive events like the Met Gala and Burning Man, events he had no access to provide. The pattern was unmistakable. McFarland, according to prosecutors, was not a well-meaning entrepreneur who got in over his head. He was, they alleged, a serial fraudster who deliberately deceived everyone around him for personal gain. Billy McFarland was arrested by federal agents in June 2017, just 2 months after the festival's catastrophic launch. He was charged with wire fraud, a charge that carried significant prison time. He was released on bail, a $300,000 bond. But what happened next stunned even seasoned prosecutors. While awaiting trial, McFarland allegedly launched his NYC VIP Access scheme, committing entirely new crimes while under federal supervision. When investigators discovered the new scheme, McFarland's bail was revoked. He was taken into custody and held without bond. The audacity of committing fraud while facing fraud charges left many observers incredulous. McFarland's lawyers initially suggested he was a young entrepreneur who had simply made mistakes, but prosecutors painted a very different picture. A calculated con artist who manipulated everyone from investors to festival attendees to his own employees. Multiple class action lawsuits were also filed on behalf of attendees who had spent thousands of dollars on the non-existent festival. Some had reportedly borrowed money or used savings to attend what they believed would be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Perhaps the most devastating impact fell on local Bahamian workers who had been hired to build the festival. Many reportedly went unpaid for weeks of labor. One local restaurant owner, Marianne Roll, reportedly lost her life savings, roughly $50,000, feeding festival workers. In March 2018, Billy McFarland pleaded guilty to 2 counts of wire fraud related to the Fyre festival scheme. He admitted to defrauding investors by making false statements about his company's finances. Then in July 2018, he pleaded guilty to additional charges stemming from the NYC VIP Access scheme, the fraud he committed while already awaiting trial. 2 separate guilty pleas for 2 separate fraud schemes. In October 2018, Billy McFarland was sentenced to 6 years in federal prison. The judge reportedly called his conduct a sea of lies. He was also ordered to forfeit approximately $26 million. Victim impact statements at sentencing painted a picture of shattered trust. Investors described losing their savings. Attendees described fear and confusion. The Bahamian community described economic damage that lingered long after the cameras left. J. Rule, McFarland's partner in launching Fyre Festival, was not criminally charged. He maintained that he too had been deceived by McFarland, though he faced civil lawsuits related to his promotional role. McFarland served his sentence at a federal correctional facility. He was released early in 2022, reportedly due to good behavior and concerns related to COVID-19. Upon release, he still owed millions in restitution. The Fyre Festival became a cultural phenomenon, a cautionary tale about influencer marketing, social media deception, and the danger of aspiration weaponized as a sales tool. Two major documentaries brought the story to global audiences. The case raised serious questions about the responsibility of social media influencers. Many of the models and celebrities who promoted Fyre Festival faced scrutiny, and some faced lawsuits for failing to disclose they were paid to advertise. For Marianne Roll, the Bahamian restaurant owner who lost her savings, a GoFundMe campaign ultimately raised over $200,000 from sympathetic donors around the world. It was a rare moment of justice born from collective outrage. After his release, McFarland reportedly announced plans to organize a Fyre Festival sequel, Fyre Festival Danu 2. The announcement was met with widespread disbelief. To many, it confirmed that some con artists never truly change. The Fyre Festival remains a defining case study in modern fraud, a reminder that in the age of social media, the line between aspiration and deception has never been thinner, and that sometimes the most dangerous con is the one that looks like a dream. Billy McFarland defrauded investors of approximately $26 million, left thousands stranded, and devastated a Bahamian community. And after serving his sentence, he announced he wanted to do it all over again. A new case drops every day. Subscribe so you never miss one.